Referred to as The Rock, RagingWire's Sacramento, California data center is the company's flagship facility. It occupies an imposing 500,000 square feet with an emphasis on efficiency and redundancy in power, cooling, and connectivity. The first really notable feature of RagingWire's Sacramento data center is its size. The campus includes two buildings that together cover 500,000 square feet. The raised floor space within is built out in phases as demand requires. Building 1 includes 3 phases. Phase 1, opened in the spring of 2001, offers 27,400 square feet of raised floor space. Phases 2 and 3 opened in 2006 and 2007, adding 34,000 and 46,000 square feet respectively. In total, Building 1 has 107,000 square feet of raised floor space, supported by 12.6 megawatts of critical IT load power capacity. 1/3 of the raised floor space in Building 2 is currently built out. When fully commissioned, Building 2 will support 96,000 square feet of raised floor space and 24.3 megawatts of critical IT load. Geography was a crucial consideration in locating the data center.
Data center site selection should be about risk. When RagingWire chose Sacramento as a site, we did it by looking at risk holistically. The number one risk profile for Northern California is earthquake. Data centers in the Bay Area and San Francisco are highly susceptible to another Loma Prieta-sized earthquake in the next 50 years. Sacramento is on a separate tectonic fault and has a less than 1% chance of another 6.9 Richter earthquake in the next 50 years. It is a much more stable environment from an earthquake perspective. Looking at risk on a holistic perspective, Sacramento is one of the best markets in the entire country to place a data center.
RagingWire offers co-location customers a remote hand service, providing access to technical NOC personnel who can access customer racks 24/7. For regular service work, RagingWire has created maintenance corridors in the new phases, letting staff work on power distribution and air conditioning gear without the need to ever enter customer cages. RagingWire's Sacramento data center is a carrier-neutral facility. 11 carriers are dual-trenched into the first building, with several more connected to Building 2. RagingWire runs private fiber between buildings, meaning carriers can serve circuits to customers in either building. For customers, it means they can run systems in both buildings, connected by redundant fiber. The power infrastructure at RagingWire's Sacramento data center is an area of focus and innovation for the company. Reliability is key to the facility's power infrastructure, which is engineered for 2N+2 redundancy. Each new phase is served by a separate electrical plant with 10 UPS systems, 2 more than the computing architecture demands. Each UPS is backed by 2 separate battery strings distributed evenly among 5 battery rooms. RagingWire could lose any battery room without an individual UPS going down. The system is designed to ride out a utility power interruption for 6 seconds before its switching systems, 1 for each UPS, switch to generator power, a separate 2 megawatt generator for each switching system. The entire facility can be running off generators within a minute of the interruption. Once it is engaged, the data center runs off generator power for a minimum of 30 minutes past the last utility power interruption. Redundancy is vital to the power system, and RagingWire holds 2 engineering patents critical to its execution.
The first patent is an isolated, redundant bypass system. It's a bus, and it's for both our generators and UPS. And what it allows us to do is to move live load from one UPS to another UPS. So when we go on maintenance, instead of having to go on generators, we stay on utility power and we transfer the load to an entire separate UPS system, and then we do maintenance, and nobody else offers that. And it's a great thing for our customers because they know that their entire load is protected by UPS power. We do the same thing on generators. We have a generator bypass system, so if we have a generator failure, we will bypass to a second generator, and that's how we get an N+2 architecture. Most data centers are N+1. We're a 2N at the rack level +2 using this isolated bypass system. So one of the second patents that we have is a distributed redundancy system, and what this is, it's on the secondary of our transformers for the customer load, and what it allows us to do is move live load between UPSs. It also allows us to expand and get maximum efficiency from our UPSs. We've had cases where a breaker will trip on a customer's redundant circuit, and we can actually move that entire load to another UPS, replace the breaker, move it back without any outages whatsoever. So that's something that is intellectual property that nobody else has.
Everywhere on the data center floor, computing gear is arranged into hot and cold aisles. Hot air is released into the ample overhead space afforded by the unusually high ceilings. The hot air is pulled into AC units throughout the computer rooms, where it is cooled by chilled water and released below the floor. Raised floors 3 feet high in phases 1 and 2 and 4 feet in the newer phases allow for a significant volume of cool air to be delivered back to cold aisles via perforated floor tiles. Chilled water is delivered to the crack units and returned to the chillers via 18 and 22-inch mains. The chillers exchange heat with an open-loop system that runs outside the building to cooling towers and water-side economizers. Here, the air absorbs much of the heat from the data center, reducing the load on the chillers inside. Wells dug more than 400 feet deep by Raging Wire deliver the water for cooling. This system is backed up by the city's utility water supply. Here, 22-inch mains carry chilled water between buildings. This makes it possible for Building 2 to run from Building 1's cooling plant. The phased build-out makes it possible for Raging Wire to apply advances in technology to each new phase and adapt to demand. This is why Building 2 is operating at nearly double the power density of Building 1. As the facility fills, Building 2 is already being built out, but as you can see, it has plenty of room for expansion.
You know, usually when customers come to me, this chief financial officer, they typically want to know, are you going to be here today, and are you going to be able to grow with me in the future? Our numbers are good. The family itself invested over $40 million of their own money before we even took out any loans. So we're very, very solid in terms of financially structured, have very little debt and a lot of equity. A lot of people don't know this. It's a family-owned business. And I think that's unique in this industry, and we're just very proud of that.